Okay, it's Super Bowl Sunday. This episode of What's Niggling Me. Wrote a couple things down here. I got a roll joint, so while I do that, I don't gotta pull anything up. I'm gonna pull up a couple things about our shitty Canadian government. But I see everybody's covering Puff Daddy, and honestly, I don't really care because it's still going to be a while, and people aren't going to be held accountable. Just like Epstein. It's not as big as Epstein, really even close, but it's just never going to happen. Diddy's just going to take the fall. You know, like Jay-Z, Beyonce, whatever, but Jay-Z, like, that guy's been sleeping with underage girls since the 90s. I didn't like him because he bit a lot of rhymes. I don't know. I don't trust Jay-Z. He was fucking with Foxy Brown and tons of girls. Like, that's what they all did, though. And nobody's gonna be held accountable for that. Just Diddy. But it niggles me that really I think Jay-Z, you know, his nobody ever talks about him. He's super rare. Desiree Perez. I'm pretty sure she was the manager of Rockefeller Records. I think Desiree Perez was the manager of Rockefeller Records. She was an FBI informant, got busted trafficking. Blow, back in the day, that was Jay-Z's manager, or like managed, or maybe CEO managed Rockefeller Records. Former government informant. So, I don't believe Jay-Z's ever getting in trouble. I don't trust him at all. Fuck that shit. I don't even care. You gotta separate the art from the artist, though. You know what I mean? There's just so many. I feel like R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly, I don't know. Michael Jackson, like, you can't just throw out all that shit. I heard a funny debate. Did Michael Jackson make better music when he was white or black? I don't know. I'll leave that up to opinion. But I thought it was pretty funny. Never heard that one before. Okay. RFK Jr. I've wanted him to be the president before he even announced years ago. Because he sounded like a good guy. And he's never been sued for any of the things he says. Because he does his research. People go off feelings instead of facts these days, so that's why they get mad. They can't dispute the facts. It hurts. The facts hurt their feelings, so they get mad. Look at the fucking shape this guy's in at 70 whatever years old, and wants to make people healthy again. That makes people mad because they want to be fat fucks and do fuck all. You get poisoned by the lobbyists that push sugar and corn because they're so fucking cheap to make. Go look at the back of all the fucking labels of things. Oreos. Like, go fucking look. It's corn, fucking fructose, fucking all. It's not just corn. They use corn oil. Like, they use all these fucking, and then sugar. Sugar is in fucking everything. It's all garbage for you. The processed sugar, not the cane sugar, but the processed sugar, because they're not fucking using good raw cane sugar in anything. Processed sugar. That's why fucking food pyramid was the way it was. It wasn't because that was the healthiest thing. It was because it made people a lot of money when they went to South America and built that fucking canal. That's when fats were bad for you all of a sudden, which is a fucking lie. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is going to be the first female president, whether anybody likes it or not. That's a woman that's actually qualified for the fucking job. She's fucking badass. And again, I've been liking fucking Tulsi Gabbard for years. I've been watching fucking and reading about Tulsi Gabbard for fucking years. She would have been the Democrats' first female president. She just wanted Bernie instead of Hillary Clinton back in 2016. And then all of a sudden, the Congresswoman of Hawaii and former medic in Iraq and still in the fucking army is a Russian, Syrian, Iranian collaborator. Every fucking, except for North Korea, pretty much fucking every country the United States hates. She's a collaborator. Even though, like, today, she's in the Army Reserves, still, 20 fucking years plus. They don't like her because she knows what she's talking about. She's confident. She doesn't want to go and blow up more people like Hillary Clinton did. Like she wanted to in Syria, or did in Syria, Hillary Clinton, and Libya. That's why Hillary Clinton did good, because she sucks. She likes fucking overthrowing governments and killing people. Calling people Nazis and stuff. Even though it's just 100% not true. Never hear them complain about Bibi Netanyahu. It was awesome when I got to see smug fucking Justin Trudeau have to say we're gonna abide by the ICC law, like Bibi Netanyahu is a war criminal. He was frowning because he didn't like having to say that after he gave our Canadian taxpayer money to Israel to kill people in Palestine and starve them. Bibi Netanyahu. These fucking losers, these Zionist fucking losers that say Israel has the right to defend itself. They've been occupying and killing Palestinians for really since the 30s. Really, 20s, 30s, it really started to ramp up. If you tell me about October 7th, then I know that you don't know anything and you're just spouting fucking bullshit you've heard. Their excuses. If you go back to 47, 48, no, I did a lot of research on this past year. I probably put in 100 hours of listening and reading about the history from the late 1800s with Theodore Herzl. He was the visionary for Israel. The biggest thing that people have to understand, we don't understand in North America, is these parts of the world, Israel, for example, they got booted out of there every fucking time. They got booted out of places everywhere. And some of the times they got treated like shit. I'll give you that, but if you go to the bar, if you go to 10 bars and you keep getting kicked out, are the bars the problem or are you the problem? So when they wanted to start Israel, okay, a lot of people weren't coming there. It's in the fucking Middle East. Now, Tel Aviv, Israel looks nice now. Israel looks like a Western country there. It's got cities, it's got fucking bike lanes. The only issue is they got fucking bomb shelters that look like bus stops. You know, if you the bus stops that you sit down in got fucking a cover and shit. Those are bomb shelters in Israel. So that's pretty fucked up. But they're used to it. But it's generations of growing up to make it normalized. I gotta try and speed through this because this just racks fucking gigabytes on my phone. Video in 4K. when they wanted to get Israel going, when they really started to get it going, because of World War One. That was the big catalyst. That was the big putting it in writing to what's his name? Amishal Rothschild. One of the Rothschilds, not him. That's one of the OGs at Rothschilds. I forget which Rothschild right now, but in 1917 maybe. I've been getting deeper on the Epstein stuff, the Robert Maxwell stuff. So I haven't been focusing on the Israel stuff, even though Robert Maxwell's an important Israeli person that like it ties into Israel intelligence, all the Epstein stuff. But the origination of it, when they really started to get it going, they were trying to recruit people. There was Jewish people because of getting booted out of Israel, Jerusalem and stuff back in a couple thousand years ago. They are dispersed all over Europe. Okay, all these Jewish people, they're dispersed all over Europe. They speak totally different languages. So like really in the 30s and 40s, when they started getting a bunch of people there and didn't sign any agreements because they had to wait until they got a majority over the Palestinians. So they were recruiting hard and stuff like that, and Ben Gurion and stuff like these guys got all these Jewish people over there. They didn't speak all Hebrew. They spoke. Were Jewish people in England, in France, in Germany, in Hungary, Austria. There's Germany, Russia. Those are probably the Russian Jewish people. And of all the last 100 and whatever, 100 and a bit, 125 years of Jewish people that I've been researching, the Russian Jewish people, those were some badass motherfuckers because they went through some hard fucking war times and shit. Even though they got some pogrom issues sometimes because Stalin was not a nice guy to people. The Jewish people, they fought. They were some badass motherfuckers and some old-time Jewish Russians. So the making of Israel is a weird one because there's so much power behind it. It's money. And it goes back to, you literally have to look at the Rothschilds and how they started the central banks. They started banks. They this one guy, it was very impressive. I don't really want to get into the whole fucking thing because I got to try and keep this to 45 minutes probably. It's the max storage I got. But this guy, I think his name was Amishal. This guy worked real hard, interning, basically, learning the money system. Once he got a bank going, he had these 5 sons, and he dispersed these 5 sons all over Europe to start banks. And then it was the first time that any part of the world had it's hard to explain. You could withdraw money. If you went on vacation from England to Italy, where they had one, they opened a bank, you could withdraw your money in Italy because they could communicate, because it was the first time. And then when Napoleon was fighting England, they played both sides, which the United States continues to still do. The British were really good at war, and the US learned a lot of tricks. Israel, with the spying, got really good. But it's a pretty cool story. This one Rothschild, he had carrier pigeons. Pigeons are pretty impressive. They still do this shit today, I guess. But pigeons are fucking smart homing pigeons or whatever. When they were fighting in the war, Napoleon, they were backing both Napoleon and England, funding the war, and then he had a pigeon. He like put a spy into the war, and when Napoleon lost, the guy sent this pigeon to this Rothschild guy, and they said that England lost the war, so that everyone would pull their money out of the banks, and the dollar would, or whatever, the pound, whatever, would just fucking plummet. And then they bought it all up. They bought up all the fucking debt and the currency there, and fucking, once they realized they won the war, they profited huge. Dirty game. Smart, I guess, but dirty game. What do you call it? George Soros, he did that shit to he manipulated and did manipulate the Deutsch, the German dollar, back in the day to make a fuckload of money, and I'm pretty sure he did it to the British pound as well. That George Soros guy, that guy's a real fucking piece of shit. A real fucking piece of shit. Real cocksucker. Jewish guy that turned Jews into Nazis back in fucking Hungary where he lived when he was a boy. He would fucking tell the Nazi soldiers where Jewish people were hiding. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. Ukraine. That's what I wanted to talk about. There's multiple things going on with Ukraine. Not Biden. They're going to blame it on Biden, but Anthony Blinken is escalating that war right before they're about to get booted out of office and give Trump a real hard time. There's a lot going on there. Hunter Biden fucking worked there. He didn't work there. Hunter Biden partied there while he was a board member of an energy company over there. He was banging crack. Fucking high fucking value women. Or that's not, I suppose, not the word. High end, like price wise women. He was making $80K a month. They were doing a lot, the United States was doing a lot of dirty shit over there because Ukraine's probably one of the most corrupt countries in the entire world. But they have resources. They got resources, and they're in such a great spot to attack, fuck up, spy on Russia. It's a great spot. It's a great spot. They got, there's this movie, documentary movie, The Grab, and it's incredible to see what's going on in the world behind everybody's eyes. And it's the land grab and the water grab, that the resources grab is going on heavy right now. You know, the Chinese do it awesome. They go and they don't fucking destroy countries like the United States does, and then rape and pillage them for the resources. China goes into like Africa and they go and build these build schools and churches, and take the resources, but like they don't make the people hate them and want to do terroristic acts to them like the United States does to the Middle East, because Bibi Netanyahu doesn't like all those countries and he would like Greater Israel, and so all the countries that Bibi Netanyahu doesn't like over there, that's who the United States goes and attacks. Like Saddam Hussein, not a good guy, a really horrible guy. His sons, not good people. I watched an interview of, there's a couple of them, of Uday Hussein, his Saddam Hussein's son, insane psycho, just one of the most horrible people in history. If you read what this guy's done to people. But I watched, he got a guy that he grew up with, wasn't really friends with him or anything, but he went to like school with him as a kid and stuff, and thought that he looked like him, and so he made that guy get plastic surgery and become his double for certain things. Pretty insane. This guy's still alive today. He was able to escape. I think he lives in the US now. Yeah, pretty insane. But Yeah, he didn't want to go off of the US dollar anymore. Just like Muammar Gaddafi. Those guys didn't want to. Oh, no. Saddam wanted to buy oil, didn't want to buy oil from the United States. And the United States depends on that. Saddam Hussein wanted to use his oil and have other countries buy off him. It's not part of the United States plan. Muammar Gaddafi, he wanted to have an African coin, you know, like they used to have the euro. He wanted Africa to have a coin and not go off the US dollar. This guy had like, you think of Africa and how they depict it here in the United States to people growing up, like they make it look like it's Egypt. It's all Egypt and sand, and it's not. Muammar Gaddafi had power and roads and shit and like he had infrastructure. He had that fucking country doing well, and now there's open slave trades there. The United States do not like if you try to shut them out. They did it to Japan back in the day, like a long time ago, maybe 100 years ago now. No, more than that. They wanted to be isolationists. They don't like that. How much time have I covered here? 20 minutes. Okay. This is 100%. Like, I got Ukraine, okay? Our prime minister, we have a puppet as a prime minister. He's a drama teacher. He doesn't matter. He's a rich kid. He just went to a Taylor Swift concert the other day. This guy's a fucking loser. Loves Israel, loves Ukraine, sending money there. And he's going to send all Canadian people that earn under $150,000 $250 in April. That's how he's going to get us to vote for him. He thinks. Like, he's retarded. Sorry, Mom, if you ever watch this. She doesn't like that word. But some people are mentally disabled that are in high positions. They have developmental disabilities. Okay. Ukraine. Okay. So our deputy prime minister, Chrystia, she is the one that makes pretty much the majority of our decisions in Canada. She's back. She's fucking got Trudeau and telling him what to say. This woman who does this all the fucking time and does that and fucking smiles at the end is a fucking loser, WEF, World Economic Forum puppet, and she does their bidding. But she should not be allowed to be in our government. I don't fucking trust her. She is a Ukrainian loyalist because her grandfather, okay, there's numerous, this is 100%, I don't even know who is running YouTube right now. I believe it's a woman, but I don't know. I think her last name starts with a W. Excuse me. This is true. I looked and I found it on numerous publications. This is true. Her grandfather was a Nazi collaborator, and we let him in Canada after. He was an editor of a paper that spread the Jewish propaganda in Poland. And he was a Ukrainian nationalist for the Nazis. Michael Khomiak. Her last name is Freeland. They gave her that last name free. They gave her, they changed that name to Freeland when we, for some fucking reason, allowed that Nazi to come here. Insane. This guy, her grandfather, Michael Khomiak, Austro-Hungarian, graduated from Gymnasium in Lviv in 1926, followed by a law degree from Jan Kazimierz University in 1930. A year later, he got a degree from the Academy of Foreign Trade until the outbreak of the war. He was a correspondent for the Ukrainian language newspaper Dilo. He was not affiliated with any political party. Instead, as a firm believer of the Greek Catholicism, he was an ardent supporter of Metropolitan Andrei Sheptytsky and the moderate Ukrainian nationalism he advocated. After the outbreak, he settled in Krakow, Poland, where in late 1939, when things were not good, he received an apartment previously seized from Jewish owners. That first apartment was on, that street's crazy in Ukrainian, Straddomska Street, and the next was on Stanislaus Street near the Jewish quarter. Because of his political non-involvement, he became an acceptable candidate for the Germans as an editor-in-chief of the Ukrainian newspaper Krakowski Visti, published in Krakow since January 1940. He became one in 1940 and held the position until 1945. Huh? Chrystia Freeland, our Deputy Prime Minister. Your grandfather was complicit in the murder of how many Jews? Tell me I'm lying. You can go look at it. There's an Ottawa newspaper as well. You can go look at it. There's Alberta documents that were uncovered. Go look at it. Khomiak changed his name to Michael Khomiak when he immigrated to Canada after World War II. After his death in 1984, his son-in-law, John Paul Himka, accessed his papers, which are now held in the Provincial Archives of Alberta. According to Himka, the anti-Jewish materials published in his newspaper contributed to the murder of Jews, to the mass murder of Jews. Go and fact check me, YouTube. That's our Deputy Prime Minister's grandpa. Now, I haven't trusted her at all for years. And that was before I found that out. I got numerous tabs on my phone of it. Like, you can go look it up. It's crazy that we allow her to do that. We allowed him to come over here. There's a lot of Nazis that didn't get in trouble for some reason. Now, a lot of them got fucked up by Soviets. Bad things happened there. Bad things. I want people to go and research some of those things. I want people to go and look. I ain't lying about any of those things in the last 30 minutes maybe. But I want to emphasize the Tulsi Gabbard thing, because that woman is going to be the first female president. And you know, I actually was vouching for Danielle Smith. She's the premier in Alberta, as she should run for our prime minister. But I've unfortunately started to uncover some unfortunate news of loyalty no matter what, and I don't like that. Just like Trump, he's good for crypto, he's good for the economy, but he's gonna be good for a few things. RFK, letting him do his thing, and getting Trump's good for the economy. Hopefully what they do in immigration, they can do something over here, because the scam that we have going on here with the universities and businesses are fucking just need to be destroyed and not allowed. These fucking dirty for-profit people just scamming and using these people from Africa and India since 2018. We've just been using these Indians and Africans and taking them for all their money on unbelievable international tuition fees. Just unbelievable why, if you want to go and help these people in these countries, go fuck. I see you popping up fucking buildings, all these universities, popping up fucking all these little fucking campuses and stuff like that all over. Go fucking build them over there. Give them fucking schools over there like fucking China. Because then these corporations, every fucking grocery store, every fucking Tim Hortons, McDonald's, fucking A&W, whatever the fuck, they all get subsidized. Fucking, they're hiring these workers, and the government is giving taxpayer money. Their taxpayer money is going to pay for these fucking up to 50% of the wages. If you go and hire fucking a Tim Hortons worker for $15 an hour, you own this Tim Hortons. The Tim Hortons owner is only paying this person $7.50 an hour. The government's paying him. Sometimes it's up to $10,000 that the government gives. How's that allowed? Why would we ever hire actual citizens of the country if we can just keep hiring this rotating door of international students? Corporations are just taking advantage of it and making so much money. Youth unemployment rate is at an all-time high. I wonder why. Because why would you pay a kid when you can pay an international student $7.50 an hour? Now, for anybody watching anywhere, our minimum wage is around $16 or something, 16 to 17, somewhere in there. So yeah, $8, whatever. Insane. We have a dirty scam system going on there. But yeah, Trump's good for the economy and crypto. Oh, he's gonna, forget Ross Albright, that was my other thing. And then it'd be cool if he pardoned, I don't know if it does anything for Julian Assange. I would like Trump to give him a pardon, so then he's allowed to come over and speak in other countries freely. And Edward Snowden needs to get pardoned for telling the fucking truth. It just hurt people's feelings. That's why people are mad, because he unveiled that they spy on everybody. Crazy world we're living in. A lot of things niggling me, but the economy's gonna get better because we're gonna get rid of Trudeau. He's a fucking loser. We're gonna get rid of Chrystia Freeland. She needs to fucking go. We have this other woman I have to take a look at. She's like the fucking in charge of youth and gender stuff, and I don't fucking trust that department whatsoever. I don't think so. We got a lot of issues. Football's today, though. Omar doesn't play till tomorrow. I'll upload this and see if I pop one of these out and get more. Deuces.